G'day, Couch Critics. It's Sog here, and I'm with Bradley, and we're bringing you the A-League Couch Critics, the only A-League's podcast with absolutely zero transfer rumours, with absolutely zero sources. Bradley, nice to see you. How you going?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for that intro there. The only sources I'm interested in is the Master Food blow-up ones at the Central Coast Stadium, which we didn't have on Friday night, which was disappointing. But yes, I am doing well. I guess before we get into it, we should plug to like the channel, to subscribe. And also, we do have memberships to join the channel. I haven't really advertised that. It's a great way to support the channel and help us create better, cooler content. And you have a bit more of a say in how we do the channel. Of course, there's no obligations to do that, but we love it if you do subscribe and like the video. But yeah, do we want to dive into today's topic of 5 things we learnt from the opening round of the A-League?
Absolutely. What are the 5? Well, what's number 1? What have we learnt this weekend?
I think it's been pretty clear that we've learnt that Perth are going to be absolute trash this year. I'm sorry, Perth.
We both put them as 11th in our start of season table prediction, and we got a comment that said, "We're not finishing 11, you guys. Like, we don't have that big string of away fixtures like last season." And he's right. We did get it wrong. You aren't coming 11th, Perth. I think you're coming last. If that continues any longer, like it was shocking. Like, the defending was just lackluster. It like
I was
out.
Yeah, I was at this game. It was a sellout crowd out at Campbelltown, which was great to see, of course. Massive crowd out there at Campbelltown. But yeah, it was 4-0, I think, after about half an hour. And just like some of the goals for MacArthur looked pretty good. But just when you look back at the replay, it's like, wow, like it's just comical defending. I think for the first one, it was a back pass straight to a MacArthur player and they scored. And one of the goals just ran through the back line. It looked pretty woeful. And I feel sorry for all the Perth Glory fans that made the trip over to Campbelltown, although there are quite a few of Jared Carluccio's family there, a bunch of guys there wearing his jersey with the name on the back. So
good to see.
Pretty cool for them to see Jared come on late in the game. But gosh, there's not a lot to like about Perth. I didn't think they were going to have a great season, but just that first game, I know MacArthur looked good, but I think it helped that Perth were just so bad at the back.
Yeah. Like 2 of their goals come from shots that get deflected or saved and just kind of bounce back. And Perth's, I think the big problem was Perth's defense. They just did not look switched on. They didn't look ready to play football. Their reactions were slow, and that's going to cost you a lot. And big news for them as well is Josh Risdon is out for about a month with an injury, and that's just not what you need. He's the one kind of solid player in their defense, and you can have a great midfield if you want, but if your defense is trash, you're going to get punished in the A-League. So, yeah, it's not looking good at all for Perth, if we're honest.
No, I have to say, I think that's probably one of the worst performances I've seen. Mainly that first half, that's probably one of the worst performances I've seen from any A-League team. MacArthur did play well, of course, but and they should be excited about that good start. But let's be honest, Perth were pretty bad.
I mean, Perth did score a goal. Credit to them. They got something back. MacArthur, when you're 5-0 up at halftime, you got to go like the Ollie Roos or the Joeys on North Mariana Islands did and pump up 19. You know, just it's the first game of the season. If anything, that's the time you go, let's thrash them. Let's start with 10 goals. So bit disappointed. MacArthur kind of went from being bulls in the first half to I don't know. No, I haven't got anything good to say about that. Anyway, shame on you, MacArthur. Go and just crush them.
Yeah. Well, I think the second thing we learnt, this was a game that we both attended, the Sydney Derby on Saturday night. I think what we learnt is when the police just kind of let the fans do their thing, nothing happens. Like, we were both in the stadium, and I noticed a real lack of police. Like, of course, there's police around, but the last day we went to before that, where the riot squad happened, just seemed like the police just want to get involved for the sake of getting involved. It was really good to see that, you know, there was policing outside the stadium, making sure the fans got safely to the stadium. But inside, they let the security deal with anything. And there didn't seem to be any problems whatsoever. There was a great atmosphere. It was a great match there for the fans, and it was just a real good time. And it was just great to see a real lack of police and just trust that the fans do their thing, which they normally do in a Sydney derby.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing about this is it's not in the news. It's not an issue. It's not on Twitter. Like there was nothing, and so I think that's fantastic. Whether that's been an APL thing and they've actually reached out to the police and organisers and tried to improve that from last season, because last season was just an absolute shocker. So if it's APL, then fantastic work, and whoever's done that nice and quietly and just got that sorted, let's hope that continues. But or if it's just a police thing and they've gone, well, last year was terrible, that's great too. So fantastic to see, because as I was walking out of the stadium, obviously there was a huge bunch of police out the back, but they were standing, having a nice time, saying goodnight to people, and they didn't have to get involved. So I think that was just fantastic. Props to the A-League for getting that sorted.
Yeah, and I think after what happened in the last derby last year, I know our CEO, Scott Hudson, was quite involved in trying to sort out the issue. And I think in one of the pre-season member forums, he actually did make a note of the police admitted, probably to him and the club, maybe not in public because that would cause them a whole lot of legal issues, that they probably did stuff up on that night and probably did a few things wrong. And I think the RBTV covered quite a lot of things that went down, probably shouldn't have went down by the police, but I think the club has actually done quite a lot to make sure that went well. I'm sure the APL had a part as well.
Yeah.
What else did we learn? Well, I think what we learned over across the ditch in Auckland is when you go to a place that is not crying out, but you fish where the fish are, you put an expansion team in the right place. You have the owner, you have a credible owner, you bring in the right people and you engage with the community, you get a really good expansion team. Now, I know I went on Twitter and I said basically the same thing, and people were like, oh, it's only been one game, but I don't know. They looked like, I think the statistic is there. Only Sydney FC's had a bigger crowd for their opening game. Auckland, just the way the crowd was going, the way the build-up, there's been such a great hype. I think Auckland's going to be a massive hit.
And look, starting with a 2-0 win, it looked like party vibes. A slide on the hill, lots of food vans in and around. And to be fair to Auckland, they showed up. Like both the team and the fans. To have 24,000 people there for your first fixture and to have that result, you can almost guarantee it's maybe not going to be 24,000 this Sunday for the game against Sydney, but you've got Douglas Costa turning up with the Sydney team. People will want to see that, and if people enjoyed their first experience, they're going to want to go back for more. So I wouldn't be surprised if we absolutely saw over 10,000 at this second Auckland home game.
I think we'll be getting quite a lot. I think
I'd love to see them get 20,000 again, and on a Sunday afternoon, and just show the A-League that they're here and they're serious. Because like you're saying, they've just done so many good things off the pitch to start off as a team. It's fantastic, and it's such a stark contrast to MacArthur and just the way that club has been organised and run from the very start. And even Western, I know they're moving in a better trajectory than MacArthur, I would say, off field. But even they started with no momentum, whereas Auckland are straight off the bat, they're running, and that's just got good vibes, and I love to see it.
Yeah, no, it's really good from Auckland. I did have a look at a statistic. This is not a Code War debate, but I thought it was a good comparison to have a look at. The New Zealand Warriors sold out every single game they played at home at the same stadium in the season just gone. Yet that crowd for Auckland FC would have been the second highest. Say for a Warriors game, it was the second highest. So there was only one crowd that beat the Warriors. So there must be something in the water over there in Auckland at the moment, because they're loving their sport. It's great to see such a good turnout on the weekend.
Yeah, and look, we love our expansion chat. We'd love to see the A-League continue to grow, and I think ideally 14, maybe 16 teams is ideal for top division. I think the APL has to use this as the footprint. Obviously, we know Canberra is in the works. I guess Canberra and the whoever the group is behind that bid, they're getting a really good blueprint of what to do, how to start off well, the kind of things they need to do. Even just last week in the lead up to the game, Auckland had 100 jerseys just around Auckland in the city with, I think it was like, first year or something on the back, and people could take them and pick them up, and they've created hype around the city. So it's so cool, and it's just absolutely what clubs should look to do. Not even expansion clubs, but I reckon some of the clubs who are current could take a leaf out of Auckland's book and get their towns, their cities excited about the football club.
Yeah. Now, you're just telling me before you got a Fulham kit the other day. You want to tell me a bit more about that and today's partner for the video?
Yeah, absolutely. We're partnered by Kit Legit, and it's a football jersey authenticating app. You can see actually I'm wearing a Celtic jersey and there's no manufacturer on it. Oh, does that mean it's not legit? If you used Kit Legit, you'd be able to tell. It actually is from the Celtic store. My parents just went to Scotland and got it from. It's an official remake. But if you're wondering and you're ever unsure, well, check out Kit Legit. I think we'll play a quick little video of me finding a Fulham jersey in Vinnie's just the other day. All right, so I'm in Vinnie's and I've just found this Fulham shirt. $14. Looks good. Let's check if it's legit. It's really simple to use Kit Legit to check any jersey to see if it's authentic or not. Just like this Fulham FC kit, I just go in and use the guided check, and it tells me all the photos that I need to take so that I can tell whether or not this jersey is legit. This is a perfect app if you're a kit collector or you've just got an interest in seeing if your jerseys that you've got at home are legit or not. But particularly if you're out op shopping and you find a perfect kit and you want to know if it's good or not, or if you're checking online, you can even upload photos from online to see if sellers are genuine. The best thing about the app is if you've got free, you can do 5 checks per month for free. But if you get a plan, then you can do unlimited checks all the time. Just use Couch Critics 10 when you sign up to get 10% off, and then you'll have all unlimited checks. And now you're looking at the owner of a Fulham jersey, Kit Legit. Legit. There you go. So the Fulham jersey, I think it's in the wash because I wore it playing squash, but legit and nice kit. If it wasn't for the betting sponsor, it would have been absolutely mint. But $14 for a Fulham jersey in Vinnie's, you betcha. And all thanks to Kit Legit. So how good's that? Bradley, talking about things that seem legit. Sydney FC, are they the real deal this season? We've seen one game, and a handful of Asian Champions League 2 matches. Now they've played every team once. Obviously, you left the derby pretty quickly. You came and sat with me in the second half.
I stayed for the full game, but yes, I didn't stay around for as long as you probably did after full time. No,
but in that, like, do you think on the balance of play, Sydney look the better side?
I think with the players, I think on the balance of play, they were definitely the better team. And I think to only lose by 1 goal, I think in the end, I'm bummed to have lost, but I think it could have been a lot worse. And I think there's still a lot of refinement in that squad. When they start firing Sydney FC, they're going to be deadly. I think some of the players they have up front, the front 6, look really good. The back line, like we said in our preseason video, I don't think is as good. But, you get Costa, the Polish guy. You get some of those guys firing. They're going to be mint. Are they the real deal? Yeah, I think they are. Off the derby, I thought at times they actually probably weren't as sharp as I thought they would have been. I thought they could have probably finished us off a bit more. And to be fair, I thought we actually played quite well. At times, I think in the second half we played probably a lot better. The first half wasn't particularly great, but I do think they are the real deal, which is concerning.
Oh,
When we play that second derby in like a month's time at
yeah.
the Unite round, I think that's probably going to be a better indication of where they're at. But I do think they're the real deal. What about yourself?
Well, I think coming off the back of the derby and playing really well, and like I said, the defense had some issues, and then to go and front up against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, who are top of the J League, away from home. So big game, first game of the season. Travel all the way to Japan and play against the team that's topping their league, who are 34 games into their season. Like, they are absolutely in their best form. And Sydney really put a good game. Now, yeah, they scored a good goal, and there was a mistake from Hayden Matthews, who, like, you've got to remember, this kid is 19 years old, playing centre back, and now like leading that centre back position for Sydney FC. He's going to make some mistakes here or there, but he's fantastic, and the amount of intercepts or big challenges he made against the Wanderers and against Sanfrecce, like, he's the real deal. And if Sydney can lock him down on a big contract, or they're in for a huge fee, for sure. If not a championship club, I reckon a first division club in Europe would pay the money for him, because he's incredible. But I think that's what's been really impressive. Leo Senna, last night, when, as we're filming this, last night against Hiroshima was absolutely incredible.
What about that the Hiroshima player that wanted to fight him?
Oh, well, Tolgay Arslan.
How did he not get sent off for that?
Yeah.
Oh, was that Tolgay Arslan? Well, yeah, he should have been sent off for that.
It was incredible. And I think that's, Sydney's midfield already look like they're really well gelled together. Obviously, it's going to come even better. We saw a couple of passes, a couple of runs that quite weren't connected. But you know what? I think as the season goes on, they're just going to get more and more impressive. The only thing that could be Sydney's downfall is it looks like they've got a very clear system of play. They kind of overload small triangles. If a team can figure out how to stop that, that could cause problems for Sydney. Whether or not, if he's got a plan B, a plan C up his sleeve, I don't know, because they seem to continue on with it against Hiroshima last night. So for me, it's super exciting as a Sydney FC fan to watch that kind of football in round one when teams are usually a bit rusty. Very excited for what the season could hold. Worried a little bit about Auckland on Sunday, though, because Sydney are now travelling all the way back from Japan. We'll have a day or two in Auckland before playing. That's a lot to back up in 1 week of football. So that could be a tough test, but it'll be great to see how they do.
And up against Steve Corica as well. So that'll be extra little bit of spice there.
Yeah, good on Bimby. He deserves a bit of love, but it was right for him to move on. So I hope we beat him.
Yeah. So that was our fourth thing. Did we learn? Did we learn that Sydney are contenders in that game?
I think we did.
Yeah, okay. And our final thing we've learned is what happens when the APL focuses on actually just producing good football content. What we learn is that we get a big uptake and excitement on social media by the fan base. I think we saw that in the first round. There was a great lot of hype leading in the season. They got Ellie Mangum to do that great hype video. They've been pumping out some great shows on TV and on the YouTube channel. I think there's one with Vince Rugari and Tommy Orr. There's one with Archie Thompson and Thomas Sorensen. The highlight videos are also just great. It just shows what happens when you just focus on football instead of the previous regime who were worried about keep up and certain KPIs and stuff like that. They're just doing basic stuff and people love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, here's a list of all the things I've seen so far. You've got A-League's Download, which is like an analysis show, a proper analysis show. Max Rushton from the UK, with Archie Thompson and Sorensen, and they're really talking about the football. You've got Total A-Leagues, which is a bit more of what are the talking points, kind of like what we do, but with Vince Rugari and Tommy Orr. So good luck topping that. Although I think you've had some Tommy Orr moments playing for Bathurst Athletic. I've definitely seen them.
Is that a good thing?
Absolutely, absolutely. You've got A-League's warm-up, which is just a quick, brief, funny intro to the preview of the rounds games, and that's got Nick Stoll and Daniel Georgievsky. So they're getting media people who kind of know what they're doing, and they're getting ex-pros who love to talk about and hype up the A-League, which is just fantastic. Then you've got on free-to-air TV as well, you've got the weekly kickoff, which is like a magazine style show, something that football in Australia hasn't had for so long. A proper magazine show and it's covering all Australian football. And then you've also got on Saturdays the Football Tonight, which is in between two free-to-air games. They're just showcasing the game. This is what football is in Australia, and talking about it like it's a real deal, but also leaning into, hey, the A-Leagues is not, this super polished English Premier League with billion-dollar stars. There are hilarious things that happen. We're a funny league, and we love that. That's why you want to be a fan of the A-League. It's because it's not the Premier League. It's our football, and so just showcasing that's fantastic.
And we had 400,000 people watching the broadcast on Saturday night, so that's really good to see. That's a massive increase in viewership as well. So really exciting things are happening right now in the A-League, which is really exciting. There's actually, I feel like there's an actual genuine buzz around the comp we haven't really seen since before COVID. I think we like to hype it up the past few seasons, but I really think now we have a proper hype. Combined with all this, with the APL, the marketing, with Auckland, with the derbies early on, I think there's a lot to like about the A-League at the moment.
So good.
One Mata and yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a good round of football. That's just round one. 5 incredible things we've enjoyed from round one. But Bradley, there's another round of football right around the corner, and so hopefully this video will be out so that you can watch it before the Friday night match. How good?
Yeah, no, how good. I'm looking forward to watching it. No,
Excellent.
I don't watch my own content. I don't watch it. No, of course I do. Of course I do.
Football.
Yeah, no, I'll be watching the football, and I'll be watching this video as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you've been watching, thank you so much. Do make sure you leave a like and comment. What have you enjoyed about round one, and what are you looking forward to in round two? Because the A-League is kicking on, and so we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week.